Hey, it's Strummer Dundee here, and we're in kind of a different location than normal. Basically, we're in my car because I am waiting for a place to open. So, I figured while I had time and while I was sitting here, I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch. I stayed up way late to actually watch the first Nintendo presentation that was like from Japan. Um, and I was super tired but super excited. And I got more news recently. There's been a lot of hands-on events in New York. They did their little Nintendo Direct treehouse type, I don't think that's the right word. Well, whatever it is, they did that recently as well. And there's some things I'm really excited about and some things that kind of seem a little annoying, but I'll get into that in a second. So overall, I want to buy a Nintendo Switch. Definitely. It seems to be incorporating all the best parts of Nintendo consoles that I've seen before. I was so excited to hear that they are going to have a form of motion control. That was like the biggest thing that I was wondering about, is are they ditching motion control altogether because of the Wii U or what? But they are not. So the way the Nintendo Switch is set up is you have this kind of portable portion of it, which can be put into the dock to make the normal home console version of it. And on either side of this portable version, you have, they call them Joy-Cons, so they're the Joy-Con controllers. So it's joystick / controller Joy-Con. And there are left and right parts to it that have specific functionalities. But they also each have motion control capabilities, which I'm really excited about. Another thing about the controllers I thought was interesting, they mentioned there is a kind of weighted portion to them, and that was from these kind of TurboShock Rumble controllers they had from a while back, like a while back. So they did the demonstration like it feels like you have a glass, like a drinking glass in your hand, and someone's put ice cubes in it, and there's 1, 2, or 3 ice cubes, and you can feel the difference. So I think that's going to add a lot of tactile response to different games, and I thought that was really cool as well. Some things that I thought were a little annoying. The price point for some of the accessories. So, in case about the Joy-Con controllers, if you wanted to buy extra ones, because, 2 controllers is good, but what if you have additional friends who want to come over and do things as well, or just have a spare set, or different colors, or something like that? They cost quite a bit, I believe, and I'll double check and put the numbers on the screen in case I'm wrong, but I believe if you wanted to buy just one controller, and again, the left and right controllers are different, it was something like $50 or something like that, like $49.99, and then both of them together were $79.99, I think, somewhere around that, like what I would consider to be way too expensive. Now the Pro controller, I can see spending money on that. That's perfectly normal, but for those little tiny controllers, I don't know. And there is a lot of technology on them, but I just think you should either sell them together at a fairly decent price. I don't see a point in selling them separately. It's kind of silly. As far as games, they showed a whole lot of games during the first presentation, just one right after another. I'm so excited for Skyrim. I didn't really get to experience Skyrim the first time around. I just did not have time. I was in college. I had 0 time to do a game like Skyrim. I've since tried to get into like Elder Scrolls Online and things like that, but I've always really wanted to play Skyrim at some point. So I think having that available would be great. Now, I know, as far as battery life goes, you can't like take Skyrim on the subway with you or whatever. The battery life on the portable portion is probably not going to be good. And I'm okay with that. They said like 2 to 6 hours depending on the game, but things like Skyrim and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild are probably going to be around the 2-hour mark. And that's okay because it is a home console. It's meant to be very much like the Wii U, where you have this, like, I can go sit in the other room and play for a bit on my little screen while someone else uses the TV type of deal. So that is okay for me. But yes, I'm really excited for Skyrim. I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild. I was super excited for that when I first saw the coverage during E3, I believe it was. Well, the Nintendo, their answer to E3, when I watched it there. It just looks so beautiful. It looks so cinematic. It doesn't look cheesy or weird or annoying. I just really like it. Some of the other new games that they presented, the ARMS game, where it's like that weird slinky arm robo boxing game. It looks so silly, but I love it. My favorite part of when I played the Wii was actually Wii Fit, and I loved the boxing and different like boxing kind of things on the Wii. So that's something I thought was really cool. So I'm probably going to get the ARMS game at some point. Maybe not like immediately, but at some point I want to get that silly ARMS game because it looks cool. Another one that I just saw a flash of, there's a Dragon Ball Z game or a Dragon Ball game. I don't know what that's about, but it looked cool. And this is going to sound really silly, and I'll talk about why it's not completely cool in a second, but the 1, 2, 3 Switch games. Now, what I thought the 1, 2, 3 Switch games were when I first watched it and I was really tired, I thought it was their answer to like Wii Sports. Like Wii Sports ships with the Wii. It's something you can play immediately, and it's fun and quick, and there's mini games. It's being sold separately for like $60 or like $50, I think $50. Ain't no way in hell I'm paying $50 for a bunch of mini games all together. No, I thought it was gonna be like a part of the Wii, or not the Wii. It's been a long weekend. I thought it was going to be part of the actual system itself. So that was a letdown. But the mini games themselves look hilarious and awesome. Like, there's the quick shooting one where you're staring at your opponent, you have to draw before they do. There was like some weird like cow milking game that looked hilarious, and it's probably going to use that like tactile functionality of the Rumble controller parts. It looked really cool, but also really silly. And the last one I'm really excited about is the Mario Odyssey. That looked really neat. I really like Mario games. I like platformers. So to see that, it looked really cool. The art style is kind of weird at some points. A lot of people pointed out that Mario is apparently not human. He's a lot shorter than all the like normal humans in the game, and they're way more detailed than he is, but it was cool. I like when his hat opened up its eyes at the end and like became clear it was his little traveling companion buddy Eyeball Lost. I'm like, that is the most hilarious thing and so cheesy, but I don't care. I really like it. So overall, I'm very excited about the Nintendo Switch. I think they have done a lot to really up their game to get with everybody else, like the image capturing, the eventual online play that's kind of like Xbox Live and things like that, the eventual video capturing as well. It's just a lot more modern gaming. It's like they finally caught up with this, and it's so nice. So I'm glad they didn't try to do too much. I'm glad they didn't try to be like, oh, it's a 3DS and like a PlayStation 4 and like all of these things together. I'm glad they didn't try to do that and make it too many things. It just needed to be a Nintendo console. I just wanted those like N64 GameCube type days to come back, and I think that's what they did. So overall, that's kind of my opinion of the Switch. Basically, it's gonna probably be a pretty decent console. Some of the accessories and I'm sure the online modes and things like that are probably gonna be very finicky, but I think it's a success overall as far as what I can see. I don't think there's any way for this to fail dramatically, but of course that's the beauty of making predictions. You get to see if you're wrong in the end. So I'll see you in another video, maybe talking a little bit about Pokemon or Animal Crossing, I'm thinking, coming up, but until then, do whatever you like. Watch another video. It's the internet. Have fun.